Let's take you live to this now. Suspended ANC Secretary-General Ace Magashule and 10 others and 5 accused will be appearing in court on charges relating to the alleged irregular awarding of the multi-million-rand asbestos roof removal contract in the Free State. Magashule is challenging the High Court judgment, which dismissed his legal bid to have charges against him dropped. He intends to escalate his legal battle to the Supreme Court of Appeal. Samkele Maseko is outside court this morning, standing by for the latest. A very good morning to you, Samkele. What's happening outside court?
In essence, those supporting suspended Secretary-General Ace Magashule have arrived here outside court. You can see Mr. Sam Mashinini, who is the former provincial chairperson of the ANC in the Free State province, alongside Ambassador Carl Niehaus, whom are regular supporters of the suspended Secretary-General of the African National Congress. We will try and steal Mr. Sam Mashinini just to ask him a few questions pertaining to this particular case of the suspended Secretary-General of the ANC. Mr. Mashinini, just a few questions. When you look at this particular case of your suspended Secretary-General, how do you see it playing out today? It may yet be another postponement. Do you think there may be sinister motives behind these continuous postponements?
No, in my view, this is a delaying tactics. This is a delaying tactics. Remember, we are coming from 70 charges. You don't know how from 70 they were dropped to 3. Now today we are sitting with 3. In my view, this is a clear delaying tactics. There's no case here. There's no case here. If there is a case, why they should have charged long before? Why are they not doing that?
Where to from here, Mr. Mashinini, particularly when you look at the issues of this case, knowing very well that your organization has taken a decision that all of those whom are charged may not contest any positions of power going forwards in these regional, provincial and ultimately the national conference in December, where some of you have...
No, the SG is going to the national conference. The SG is going to the national conference. These delaying tactics, they will come to an end. The law must take its course and finish this thing. That's all that is needed. Don't actually say to the people out there, justice cannot do its work. Justice is expected to do its work here and nothing else. That's why we are here.
The public protector has been suspended by the president of the country, Cyril Ramaphosa. Your response as a former provincial chair and someone who's seemingly been seen...
You know what is my problem? My problem is, why is it appearing now? Why is it the public protector suspended when there is this thing of palapala? The law must take its course with this thing of palapala. That's what it must happen. But coincidentally, why is the public protector now being suspended? It's $1 million question. People out there can read it. Go to the social media and check. People are saying, hey, we are surprised. Why is this thing coming now?
Mr. Mashinini, why are you surprised? Because this issue of the suspension, the president wrote to the public protector to give written submissions on why he shouldn't suspend her 2 months ago.
Chief, the problem is, you must listen what I'm saying. I'm saying timing. Why is it coming now? Why didn't you do it then? Why do you do it now? That's the problem. And the people are asking the same question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mashinini. Mr. Niehaus, your response to the suspension of the public protector, and particularly knowing that there's a court judgment happening now on the fitness on the issue of her inquiry taking place in Parliament and her wanting her not to be disciplined.
Comrade Mashinini is absolutely correct that this is all got to do about timing. You also know that there's now an inquiry with the public protector to investigate President Ramaphosa. This is a way in which President Ramaphosa is acting against the public protector. There's a fundamental conflict of interest. All we want to know is, when is President Ramaphosa going to be charged and when is he going to resign as president of this country? He's a disgrace. He's not worthy of being president of this country. He must take his jacket and go.
Oh, those are strong words there, Mr. Niehaus, but historically the president wrote to the public protector saying she must submit written wordings as to why he should not suspend her, particularly looking that there may be an inquiry into her fitness to hold office that will be done by a parliament. The president merely followed that entire process. What's your response to that, if he comes with that particular explanation?
The president should have let the process continue without suspending the public protector. The action of suspending the public protector at this particular time is directly related to the complaints that there are now with the public protector against President Ramaphosa because of his pala criminal shenanigans.
Thank you very much, Mr. Carl Niehaus. That is Mr. Carl Niehaus, who is one of the supporters of the suspended Secretary-General of the ANC, alongside Sam Mashinini, speaking against the issue of the suspension of the public protector, Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane, who is currently in court now as they are delivering that particular judgment on whether there should be an inquiry into her fitness to hold office or not, or whether the president has the powers to suspend the public protector of the Republic of South Africa. But my colleague Aphumelele Mdlalane is inside court. She will bring the latest as to what is happening inside court, as Edwin Sodi, Oli Malamlela, they're already inside court. Over to you, Aphumelele.
Proceedings to begin in the High Court in Bloemfontein just before 10 or at 10 o'clock. We must remember that we're back here now after from February when we were here. We know that Magashule and others, they had the application saying that they want all the charges against them be dropped, and that matter was therefore later on dismissed by this very same court. And we've always heard the intentions from the suspended Secretary-General Ace Magashule, saying that he intends to appeal this matter, always maintained, of course, his innocence, saying that this is just fallacy and it is politically motivated, saying that they just want to taint his political career. But we're here today will be, of course, it's likely to be postponed as we are here for the pre-trial. But on the NPA side, they've always maintained that they have the evidence and are ready for the trial to, of course, proceed. But now we will be expecting to hear as to now the date of course, the trial, as we've known that there's been many postponements now until this far. Just to take you back as to what is really this case is all about. It's a fraud corruption case, of course, knowing that dates back to 2014 of the asbestos removal in the Free State, as we know that when a suspended Secretary-General was then the Premier of the province, one of his State of the Province address, he did also mention that there will be a project in place whereby it will, of course, remove more than 30,000 houses in the Free State that have asbestos. But to date, the situation remains, and there would be beneficiaries. We've been talking to them, saying that these cause health hazards amongst other things. We saw also the DA as a whistleblower to this case. They've also approached the very same court, saying that there were irregularities. Also the Auditor General's report, where they pointed out that there were irregularities on this matter. Now the question now here is that 255 million rands from the public purse, of course, it is unaccounted for. We are here now just to understand as to where to now from here, as I did mention that the NPA is saying that they are ready for the trial and they have the evidence, even though Magashule and others, they are saying all the evidence that was used here is the evidence that was presented in the state capture. And we remember that he once said he wants to see the list of the witnesses, of which that didn't come forth, and saying that the Muradi Cholota that was meant to be one of the state witnesses, he always maintained that it is just one of the delaying tactics, and he says that he is innocent. So we'll just see what happens here when proceedings begin here in the High Court in Bloemfontein. Respect to you.
Of course, we'll continue to follow events in Bloemfontein. Thank you so much to both of those colleagues.